Good evening, America. Welcome back to another episode of Break the Machine podcast. Tonight, we have some really great guests from the beautiful state of California. You guys have been hearing Scott and I for quite some time now talking about the fight that has been going on there to protect children. And we've had guests recently on from fighting in California. We're going to continue to bring these fighters and these patriots on the show to continue to highlight the efforts that they have been making. Um, and the strides that they're making. It is quite a fight that they have, and they're resilient. And these two parents are out there not just to protect their children, but to protect everyone's children in the state of California. So tonight, we got Maria, okay, the Christ-centered patriot for truth on Instagram. Her links are in the description, and her husband Jose, the unapologetic patriot father, okay, and they're going to be talking about their fight. And we're going to continue to highlight these stories because it's just very, very important to continue to get this message out. And without further ado, let's bring in Red Day and let's bring in our guests. Scott, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man.
Hey, man. Happy Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday. Well, we have Maria and Jose with us tonight. If you guys can just introduce yourself to America and to our viewers, and then we'll get right into it.
Hey, what's up, man? My name's Jose. Just a father, tradesman, just a regular Joe, who saw what was going on and pretty much thought maybe what a small voice can affect something and the craziness that California has been doing for so many years, right under our noses. We had no idea what was going on, and we're about to put our kids in school, and here we are. We find out that there's been many bad bills going on throughout the years, and we just want to do a little bit of fighting against that craziness, so kids can we can protect kids' innocence. Say,
100%. Definitely need it.
and I'm Maria. I am first and foremost. I'm a follower of Christ. Let's put it out there. I'm a mother. I'm a wife, and now I'm a fighter for the children's innocence, fighting for the next generation.
It's very important.
We need it.
If anybody would like to go to their pages, they drop stuff every day on their fight. You'll see videos of both of them at school boards, getting their fight. Go ahead, Scott. You were gonna say something, brother.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. So I don't know if you want to just get the conversation started. I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Go ahead.
what is the biggest fight that you guys have been involved with, like most recently? Like, what
most
is that?
recently it's
Be
been
like the most
yeah the
pressing issue?
yeah so most recently it's been
It's like,
the girls biological boys playing in girls sports, and I know it went national. Everybody's hearing about it,
Mhm.
Riley Gaines, and a lot of
Mhm.
advocates have been going to the White House and
Oh yeah.
bringing bringing awareness. So for us, just being just a couple here in California and having just a very small handful of friends who are aware of what's going on, got involved in this fight, and we went full force, and it paid off. Just one track meet that we went to here in Yorba Linda, California, went viral when some young boy was competing against the girls, and uh, one of the moms yelled, "That's a boy!"
Yep, I've seen the
And
video.
remember that video? I
Seen the
was
video.
I was right there, right next to her. She's a friend of ours, very good friend of ours. And I was trying to tell her, like, at first I was like, "Hey, just chill out," I was like, "Wait a minute, what am I saying? No, go say what you got to say." And there was a few other parents there that just people that thought that they were gonna bully her into not saying anything. Some dad walked up and he was like, "Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself." Saying that to a kid, I said, "No, you should be ashamed of yourself being a father and a coach here and not saying anything against it." So yeah, that's been the most recent, like, I'll say higher profile fight that we've been involved in, and we're just a small part of that because there's bigger voices. Sonia Shaw, she's running for school superintendent right now in California against one of the craziest weirdos that's in charge of the schools here in California, and a few and Sophia Lori also, she's a advocate for girls sports, and a couple of parents who were affected by it, where their daughters were kicked out of school, pretty much suspended for wearing a shirt here in our city, Riverside,
Hmm.
a shirt that said "Save Girl Sports."
Right.
After, yeah,
Mhm.
you guys probably heard about that. But yeah, that's been the most,
That's
yeah.
nice. And I think that was the most important thing for me coming into this fight about 2 years ago, that a lot of people don't have the information, or if it's there, they don't look for it, or they're not sharing it. But this
Mhm.
bill, AB 1266, was passed in 2013. So it was nothing new, right? But people are going to school, parents are working, everything's happening. There's boys identifying as girls, and we started hearing the young ladies actually complain like, hey, we're dressing
Yeah.
outside in our parking on the parking lot. And I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? And then the we're from Riverside, so we heard about two young ladies that had to tape their shirts because they're athletic.
They had to put tape over their shirt,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So in how this happened was,
Wait,
so
wait,
they're going
explain.
to
Hold up.
training. Uh-huh.
Hold up. Backtrack. They had to tape their shirt,
Yeah, well,
like
it
like.
says "Save Girl Sports" on their shirt,
Okay, I got
so
you.
the
So they had to
athletic
cover
director
up the
cover
message.
up their, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
they had to cover up their message when they went to school. And the reason they took the shirt to school was because they're working hard, they're getting their grades, they're meeting all the goals to actually be
An
in,
academic program,
in the
not a
academic.
sports
Yes. However, there's a young man, right, that wants to be a girl, and he doesn't have to show up to practice, and he can show his, pride, whatever he's
program.
wearing. And so he took her place. And so, all these adults are not saying anything. And she's like, I'm going to show up to school with the Save Girl Sports. And in the back is common sense. XX doesn't equal XY. And
Yeah.
so they were asked by administration to cover their shirts, and they related the shirt to a swastika. So yeah, they're
Of course, everything
currently
is Nazis.
Yeah.
It's
right.
not even it's not even a political message. You might as well
It's
just say
not even
two
a
plus two
political.
equals
It's a
four.
yeah. It's a
Correct.
Yeah.
scientific message.
Yes, and and so when we heard about that, we went to our Riverside school board, and one of our friends actually, she brought the biology book, and she's like, "What does it say right here?" Like, it's common sense. Like, it's
Mhm.
not a political stance. You guys are discriminating against the girls now,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So
and I saw one of the comments. Yeah, the parents. So we'll go back a little bit. So pretty much, my wife. I come home one day from work. I'm beat, tired, and she's like, "Hey, this happened in Riverside, and we're a small grassroots group of people that we know. Like, we can be kind of become a family almost as we get to know each other as we go to school board meetings, as we go to different stuff." And she's like, "Yeah, this happened in our backyard." So we go, we're like, I said, "What time's the school meeting?" She's like, "It's like 5 o'clock." It was like four something. I'm like, "Okay, let's go." We jump in the car, So we drive out there, and what I mean, I'm first generation, Mexicans. Like, we're not like as well spoken as some of these people that go up to the podium and use all the perfect vernacular and all that. So for me, learning, I'm learning now, like, it doesn't common sense doesn't have a perfect
There's no
vernacular,
language to common
There's no
sense.
language.
Correct.
Yeah. So we get there, and then it's like two moms, two, like, the parents of the girls were there, and like a couple, like two of their moms, my wife, and one other friend of ours. And I when it was my turn to go up, I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be here next month," because there was really nobody there, right? "Yeah, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. We're gonna be here next month. There's gonna be cameras out here. And I'm just like threatening them, like, the nice way. But I was like,
Mhm.
"Man, why did I say that?" And then the following month, there was the school board meeting. I mean, that place was packed, like 300-400 people out there.
yeah.
And one
Nice.
of the parents came up to me. They were like, "Man, we're here because of what you said." I'm like, "Huh? What?" They're like, "Yeah, well, you told me we're gonna all be here." I was like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "That wasn't me, man." But it felt really good to see.
Yeah, to see that actually we did a action call, our little group, we call each other our little group, and actually
Mhm.
a lot of people came out, a lot of young ladies, expressing what they were feeling, and their moms. And I mean, I saw everything. I saw crying that day. And sadly, the board didn't care, just
Of course
like.
Yeah.
not.
No.
Yeah, and so we got to meet the parents of the girls who got suspended or removed that day, and
Mhm.
my
Let's
wife's
call it what it is. Retaliated against.
retaliation. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're suing. They're probably gonna win the lawsuit, but yeah, it's a uphill battle, but that's kind of been like the biggest fight, the Save Girl Sports and uh, removing kids from going into you know girls locker rooms and all this. We meet people, like we have a friend that's she was a teacher, a PE teacher here in our kind of like our district. It's well close to Jerupa actually, and they wanted her to allow a boy to go into the girls locker room, and she refused. So the administration like
Fired.
reprimanded her. They fired her, but first they went into her social media. They saw her post. They called her a bigot and all that. So yeah, she
Yeah.
ended up suing them. This is like two
Didn't
years
she just
ago
win?
now. Yeah,
Didn't she
she
just
won.
win? Yeah, she just won.
Yeah, she won. Yeah,
Jessica Tapia.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, for us, we're like
Mm.
I grew up in LA. Like we moved out here because it's a little bit more rural and it's a nicer area or whatnot, or away from the city. And then we
Give your kids
find
to
out
give your
that
kids a chance, man.
yes,
It's we get it.
exactly.
I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then this and I so for us, like I know a lot of people are in fear of being doxxed and all that. Like my wife and I, we don't care. We know God's got our back, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. We're not gonna live in fear of being doxxed, or they know my name, they know where I live, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's the reason.
Yeah.
That's what has encouraged us to just keep going.
Yeah, so CRT mom, who's been in the chat, she actually knows who you are, okay, and you
Yes.
guys actually follow her. That's Chelsea Boyle. So we've had her on more. She's a friend of the show and a friend of ours. We've had her on on more than one occasion to talk about the fight. She continues to fly from her state, okay, out to California to just continue to hackle the shit out of them out there, and we love it, okay, because
Wow.
the pressure needs to continue, okay.
Correct.
What I think we can go back to the pandemic and it opened the eyes of parents a lot. And you said something very interesting in the beginning, Maria, about how things were going on since like 2013 and probably before that as well, and nobody was paying attention to it. But people are paying attention now. We've talked at length, Scott and I, okay, about the transformer issue, right? It is a problem. We want to make sure that girls have a safe space and they don't have to worry about this stuff, because you never see girls who think they're boys going into boys locker rooms. You always see these boys,
Yeah.
okay, who suck at
Always the other
whatever
way around.
sport it is that there is, right? They're like 1000th in the state, okay, or in the country, and then they decide they want to become a girl, right? It's not because they have gender dysphoria or a genuine mental issue. It's just because they just want to beat up on girls because they suck at whatever it is that they're doing against other boys, right? So
Right.
this kid AB Hernandez is not. You put him up against anybody, any boy in the rest of the country, probably the rest of the state, he'll get absolutely crushed. Okay, in
Yep.
every event that he was doing. So we've been talking at length about that for weeks now, right, Scott?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's sick. It's sickening. It's
Yeah.
absolutely sickening, and I don't understand. Like, I just don't even understand the mentality of like defending it. Like especially when especially in sports where, like, I mean, track and field is like one thing, but then you get into the sports where it's like literally like physical contact, like it's like
Yeah.
one-on-one competition, like fencing or
Polo.
boxing. Yeah,
MMA. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And they
Yeah.
literally will sit there, and
Boxing.
you can
Yeah.
clearly see, like, I mean, how many women have gotten concussions
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
Eh,
mean, yeah, if I punched a woman, she'd probably go down. It's not like because I'm so much better. It's just that men are just generally stronger, and these people, they're like imposing in
Yeah.
size compared to like the females are going up against. It's just like I don't even understand the mentality. Like,
The
dude, just
boxing part too. I feel like that. Well, during the election, it was like the perfect storm. That's when that Olympic
Mhm.
boxer, the dude knocked out. I was hearing, I work on big job sites with, sometimes hundreds of people, and that was one of the big things where I was able to like people were talking about it, like, yeah,
Mhm.
and that's why we have to do this. That's why we got to go this way. That's why we got to vote this way because yeah, you might not like the way someone's doing things, but um, pretty much let's say that they don't like the way Trump's doing it. They like what he's doing. They just don't like the way he's doing it. That's something that I hear a lot. But what he's
And how do
doing
you do it?
is
What
And
yeah,
what
yeah,
and
is
your
he do
question should,
you know,
yeah, the
what
question,
is he
yeah, what is
doing?
he doing wrong, and what and how would you do it? And when you ask them that, they don't have an answer.
yeah, and
Oh,
it was I was not me, but like able to just commenting talking to people, just able to change minds, and I think that was partly just common sense. People that have common sense that maybe might not be vocal or might not express what they think or how they feel. They voted how they felt, but just didn't say it.
mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, everything just happened like it was like almost like the perfect storm for us.
Yeah.
It was Protect Kids California. It was a petition that um it was Nicole Pearson and
Yes.
I forgot the
Mhm.
lady's name. Another mom. She's a lawyer. Her daughter was being transitioned like pretty much behind her back, and she kind of she fought it,
Wow.
and then I'm trying. I don't know if my wife remembers her name, but she did the ones. I don't know if you guys ever heard it. It was called Protect Kids California. It was a ballot initiative to stop boys from playing
Mhm.
in girls' sports,
Gender.
boys entering girls' spaces, and also to make it illegal for the kids to have surgery. If they're 18 or older, they can do what they want, but
Right.
if they're 18, so we went, man. It was a straight up grassroots and for like no money, making our own signs, using our own paper, and going out like we were like in front of
Aaron
Walmart's.
Friday. Yeah,
Well, Aaron Friday, exactly, Aaron
Yeah,
Friday.
that's Chelsea. She
Yeah,
knows everybody.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
she's very
So
she knows she's been in this fight for a long time, with her daughter.
yeah,
Okay.
so
And she knows a lot of the people.
yeah, and shout out
True.
to her, shout out to any of the moms and dads and those of you in the chat who are listening, that are like us. We're nobody, but something
Don't
that
say that.
yeah, you know what I mean.
You're
But
not
Don't say that.
nobody.
You're
yeah,
not
we're
nobody, man.
somebody, but we're
Your
just
voice
everyday
is
folk.
your
I'm just
voice.
saying.
Remember this. Your voice is very, very
Yes.
important. And one of the things we always talk about on this show, if it's not coming out of my mouth, it's coming out of Scott's mouth, is local,
Mhm.
local, local. And the fight that you guys are having is one of the most important fights that needs to be had. Okay. Before you can even take it to the next level, it has to be done locally and in your counties and your state. All right. So what you guys are doing, this don't dump on your own efforts. Trust me, man.
Hey,
It
amen.
is it
Yeah,
is a solid
I
thing what
received
you
that.
guys are doing.
I received that, brother. Yeah, and so we're
Yes.
we're outside of Walmart, like in our neighborhood, and we're out there with the sign. Our kids are there in their chairs, and we're seeing our neighbors like, hey. And I'm like, oh, hey, you want to sign a petition, And I'm trying, and they'll sign it. And then after they walk away, I tell my wife, like, damn, we're a little bit out there, huh? And she's like, yeah, but we're for the right reasons. We're like, we're right here in front of Walmart. We're going to churches and all that. But that all that was like an awakening for us also. Like, we knew what was going on. We knew that, what they were doing was wrong. We try to combat it with something like that. Somebody created this bill, well, the petition, I should say, the petition, and we're like, hey, we should be able to get 500,000 signatures. Like, we have to. This is California. I mean, there's millions of people here in the state. We should be able to get 500,000 signatures so this petition can get put on the ballot in November.
So
And
we can vote on
yeah,
it.
so we can vote. Well, we
Absolutely.
find out that we didn't get the 500,000, and we know why, because people are just walking around aimlessly in their own world, not giving a crap, like you say, until they get affected by
Affects
it.
them. It's
Yeah,
true.
so it
Right.
affects them.
and
So
and going back to what Scott was saying, the mentality, right? Like you don't understand the mentality of these kids that are confused. And then so I sit down, and I don't like, I know you want to like talk smack, right? Like, oh, this kid, but you have to understand the bills and the indoctrination that has been happening in schools from like back in the days. You know what I mean? That you have AB 329 that is teaching kids, about these confusion, all these genders, all this stuff.
It's
uh
done by design.
yes, so I understand that kid for being confused, and I also blame the parent, because sometimes they're so blinded. I love my son so much that I'm going to tell him that he's a girl, you know what I mean? And it's wrong, so it's totally it's a plan indoctrination from schools, and sadly it follows up with the parent. Like, if we have a friend who's a father, and he's fighting hard for his child, but the courts, the laws, and all these things are hindering him from actually giving a hug to his son. And
We're talking about
uh
Adam,
Adam
yes.
Vina,
Adam Vina. We had him on the show.
Mhm.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so that seeing that type of stuff, like, for us, is like, oh no, we're gonna keep fighting, even though it's hard, even though we have to stand outside of Walmart, for months at a time to get a signature. We're gonna keep fighting because we listen to the stories, and we care, like we do, you know.
Personal. It
Yeah, they
becomes
become
personal.
very personal to us.
Children, I did a podcast with
Your
Manook.
sound is coming in and out.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's all right.
like Adam. Can you hear us now?
Yep, we hear you. We got you.
Yeah, like with Adam, it kind of becomes personal. You just meet a guy, you hear a story, and then I sat with him. I did a podcast with Manu Gregorian, the Leave Our Kids Alone guy, and Adam was there in the studio, and I got to sit with him, just chop it up, just talking. And I'm like, dang, this is really happening. This is not
Yeah,
an
it's a very
Instagram story,
it's a
So
Mhm.
serious thing.
yeah, and so sometimes when you're tired, you get up. For myself, I say, for example, or my wife, been with the kids all day, you know, uh, tired, but we know that there's something going on in our backyard. Like this is happening. We can, our voice can be heard. My wife was
Mhm.
just at a school board meeting in Redlands 2 days ago, I think, and when we're feeling tired, when we're feeling like bummed or defeated and all that, like you think about stories like Adam, and we're like, dang, we can, our voice can be heard, and if it's only just to help out one person like Adam, or even um uh to strengthen his faith or encourage him, like we're gonna get out there and do it. We're gonna get
Yeah.
out there and do it. So
Or like what
Mhm.
happened in Redlands, you have 95% of the people that show up is just to talk smack to one of the board members who's our friend,
Right.
Candy. And I'm sitting there and watching just person after person after person, like calling her all these names. And I'm just like, I'm here, I'm praying for her, but I'm also gonna encourage her when I get in that mic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
fight for her
Right.
on this side, and make her feel like there's thousands of people supporting her because I'm here. So,
yeah. Yeah, and they're saying Redlands is bad also. Like, yeah, it's crazy how bad Redlands there used to be a conservative city. Um and now the blue hair people just decided to overrun it.
Well,
yeah.
So
you mentioned something, Maria, about the bills, previous bills, right? And I think that's a lot of these bills, and I don't know how long. Jonathan, maybe, and Jay, if you could freaking bring it up for us in the chat, how long that creeping weirdo Scott Wiener has been running this up in California? Okay,
yeah.
he has been a big influence in, okay, and a big part of a lot of these bills getting through, and Governor New Scumbag, what do you call
Mhm.
it, signing them into law and everything. So Jonathan or Jay, I know you guys are quick with it. Can you let us know how long Scott Wiener's been in office? Because that's about as long as he's been going at it, with all this creepy stuff. Chelsea says she's been giving Candy support on social media. She's trying.
It's
2016.
2016.
16, man.
Yep. All right. So Wiener has been in office since
Almost 10 years.
2016. Yeah, almost 10 years.
It's a
He's
long
been
time.
he's been corrupting. Okay, that's a long time. That man has done that man has done so much damage, okay, in the state of
Yeah.
California. All right. And it's gonna take people like you, and more grassroots, and people like Chelsea flying out to go
Mm.
shake the trees and stuff like that, and just rattle
Yes.
everybody out there. But there is a growing movement, and Scott and I have been talking about it for quite some time now. We mention it almost every show now for weeks. We mention a little bit because there's something we'll be talking about, and it brings it up. Um, so we're we have faith, okay, that
Yeah.
you guys will pull through this
Oh,
and punch through this wall that you guys are fighting
yeah, we appreciate
against.
like platform like your guys' platform. It brings awareness. Like, you guys might have followers or viewers that live in Texas, for example, but they have 3 or 4 aunts that or family members that live in California, and they're making them aware of the bad people that they're voting for. Like, for example, like
Try.
the
Yep.
We try.
yeah, right. Our like the superintendent of schools. His name's Corey Jackson. That dude's
Mhm.
man weirdo. But right now we have there's a mom. There's a mom who came out of the grassroots effort, who was a soccer mom. She started volunteering at her kids' schools in Chino, and she saw what
Mhm.
was going on like during like after COVID and all that, and she decided to run for a school board, and she got a lot of opposition, but parents backed her up, and she became the school board
President.
president of Chino Valley School District, like just straight up mom, and
Nice.
that yeah, her name is Sonia Shaw. I don't know if you guys have heard of her.
Yep, we know who
She's a
Sonia
Oh
Shaw
yeah,
is.
we know who is. Oh yeah.
We know who she is.
yeah,
I
straight up
Warrior.
firecracker right there, straight up, straight
we
beast,
repost her stuff. I repost her stuff all the time. I know
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Scott does too.
Yes.
We know, we listen to
yeah,
her message. It's a valiant
yeah.
fight that has to
Yeah.
continue to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
Like Maria and I, like we're at supermarkets, we're like at the beach, we're wherever we're at. We're like, oh yeah, oh just people just start any conversation with us. We're like, oh yeah, oh speaking of that, like as I
yeah.
tell
Yes.
Maria, like we gotta chill out just a little bit, okay? They say one word and you're already telling them Chad Bianco for governor,
Yes.
Sawyer Shaw for school superintendent, and we're like hitting
Yeah.
them with all the people. If we want to change California, that's what we have to do. Is
What I think that's important because that's what's lacking. We talk to a lot of people at church or at the supermarket or at like I
they just
homeschool. So like, we do jujitsu and horse
Oh,
riding and all these
we're gonna
things.
get into that a little bit later, but go ahead. That's yeah.
And so, I'm just being a mom and I like that meme. It's like, how long can you not talk about politics? And it's like,
Mm.
2 minutes maybe. Cause I'm
yeah.
like, what school did the kid go to? Cause I just want to be intentional. We have to be in California. We lost a lot of people. People left. And it's like, I read in the comments, it's like, it's a lost cause. And you hear that a lot. But when you're here in the middle, in the front lines, and you have the group of people that, we have a group of people that we like chat each other, right? We're like, hey, this is going on. Boom, let's show up. And I always say, God didn't use thousands of people to win battles. He used one person. One David killed Goliath. And he always wanted,
Mhm.
like, hey, get rid of 200 people. I need 100 people going up against, the mafia, we call it in Sacramento. And I think it's important to share who is your immediate senator and your assembly person. And so I'm always very intentional in asking that, hey, what district are you in? Do you know who's your senator? And because I know some of the bills and who co-authored them, I'm like, oh, did you know that person is this and that, and he did this and this and that? Okay, he's coming up for election. You need to take him out. You need to tell your neighbors. And so, yeah, I don't care they call me crazy. I'm like, we need to remove these majority Democrats that are destroying our beautiful state. Like, it's just that simple. We need to.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say what's up to some people in the chat that have been there for a while. We usually give
Yeah.
give some shout outs to people. Want to say what's up to CRT mom Chelsea.
Well
It's good to see
deserved.
you. Love you. Jay, it's good to have you back, man. God bless, man. I hope that everything goes well with what's going on. Yes, 1334. That's my mod. He's our resident commie killer. Blondie, I saw you there. It's good to see you, hun. Nina, I saw you there too. Ray, it's always good to see you, brother. Ray was on our show recently. Did I miss anybody, Jonathan? I think I saw Victoria was in the chat. Want to say what's up to her too. She was there earlier, I think. Hopefully she's still listening.
Yeah.
And did I miss anybody? Scott Tampa. We all know who Scott Tampa is. But yeah, so the fight that you guys are having is an important one. And I think what you're doing to people when you start asking them about their local assemblyman and you start asking them, about, who your state senator is and stuff like that for, it's just good to know, right? Like I spent time in California. I have family in California. All right. So like in the 1990s, I was stationed at Camp Pendleton and I was up in Los Angeles every weekend. Okay. I was literally up in LA hanging with my cousins and whatnot. All right. And it was just like California was fun in the 1990s. I had such a good time. All right. And I've watched from a distance, okay, how it has changed. And you always had like there was balance there still at that time in 1990s. It was the same thing in the state of New York where I'm from. Okay, it was a lot of
Mhm.
balance. You know, even though it had this progressivism and stuff like that, it was
Yeah.
very balanced. In the state of New York, in particular, the state assembly was always blue, but the state senate was always red. So like they had to work with one another and stuff like that. So, and then around the same time that it happened in California, happened in New York too, where they got a super majority, and then it's just been a wrap.
Yeah, and if you say balance, like there was balance, because I grew up around that time also in a different demographic. Though I wish I was at Camp Pendleton and did that side, and served our country. And thank you for your service, anybody listening, and yourself. But I grew up on a different side of the
Oh, I
tracks, I
have
should
family
say.
members on that side of the tracks too, brother.
Yeah. So, but there was
Mhm.
balance, like you said, there was balance, and then that's one of the things that kind of encourages us to keep moving forward, because we see like, let's say a majority of the people are saying like, no, we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't want this. But then that one or two people in the state senate or in the local office, they're saying yes, and it's like these two people are deciding for the 500 on this side. So
Yeah.
that's what's been frustrating here in California, that uh, there's a lot of voices saying that we don't want something in our schools, or we don't want something in our kids' sports, or um, we don't want this happening to our children. We don't want them being mutilated. We don't want them being their test dummies for their surgeries. And there's many people saying that we don't want it. It's the majority, feels like. But then two or three people up in Sacramento are saying, yeah, no, we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it kind of that's frustrating,
You got to take your state back though.
Mhm.
And listen, I commend everybody who's fighting, not only in the state of California. We got friends, right, Scott, in New York and in New York City that are just relentless. Okay, they refuse to quit and they continue to fight. So, like, we have nothing but love for you guys, all right, because it's important. I walked away from New York because of circumstances. My family left, and New York and I just weren't ever going to click ever again. Uh, you know, and I came to a free state. So it's this state I had been wanting to come to for a long time. But you mentioned a lot of people left California. A lot of people left New York too, right? Like it just like
Yeah.
the red component left in mass droves because they were just tired of the bullshit and didn't want to deal with it anymore. In both states, there was a mass exodus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard, because we have our families here. Like we know all LA County to like up in Shasta County. Like
All
we
the way
wrote,
to Mexico, all the
you
way to
know.
TJ, Tijuana,
I spent quite a few nights in TJ
yeah,
back in the day.
crossing that border.
Oh yeah, well I got one hell of a story for. Well, that's another talk show. But anyway, go ahead.
Um,
And so we don't want to give up, we don't want to. And then another thing, like California is a sanctuary state, so I feel like a lot of people don't get it. There's a lot of sanctuary states right now, but if we leave, like anything can happen in another state, and they can come back and do
Yeah,
what they got to do here. So it's like
right.
if we leave, and there's this, we don't know how another state's laws are, right? Because I will have to research and all that. But if something happens, if they, like this crazy bill that's the 243 that's going on right now, if they
Can you explain that?
like do
Wh-
something,
wh-
the one that's going to be read,
Two more three.
yeah, 243.
it's
What is that?
no, I'm sorry, AB 495. There's so
Oh,
many
okay.
bills. 495. So the one that it's going to come up in August 18 that everybody's talking about right now in California.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Explain it.
So that one is a bill that's just dressed up to provide stability for children that are illegal aliens who are detained by ICE. Like if their parents are detained by ICE, right? Oh, now we want to safeguard these kids, but it's so open to interpretation right now that nothing is set. There is just an affidavit sheet that anybody and anyone, it doesn't have to be a relative, can go, fill out their name. There's no background checks, there's no nothing. And they can take the child to medical, or what was the other thing? Um Medical decisions. And there was one more thing.
They just remove. They just take.
Yeah,
They
they can
just take.
just take the child.
And you know what the biggest thing is going to come out of that? Human trafficking is going to come out of a bill
Exactly.
like that. Okay,
Yep.
that's what the biggest thing.
Legalizing, yes,
Yeah, it's
legalizing
legalizing
human
trafficking is
trafficking.
what it is.
Pretty much. And people think, oh, it's only for illegal kids that, no, it's for all kids. All
Mhm.
kids, my kids, your kids, like everybody's kids. And so people are like, oh, we're gonna leave California. Okay, but if that happens in another state and they bring your child back to California, it's a sanctuary state. You don't know.
Yeah,
You don't know
yeah,
their name, you don't know their location. You're He disappears, So it's like we have to stay and we gotta fight. We gotta fight these bills, these bad bills.
Yeah, one bad bill comes out and then
Oh,
kind
really?
of dies out, and then a worse one comes out, and you're like, really? They keep digging up the worst things for California bad bills.
Mhm.
yeah. Scott, you were going to say something, brother?
I was just to say that's just the way. I mean, that's just the slippery slope that we've been sliding down for the last like 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
Um, it's
Yeah,
just it. You can't stop fighting because they're never going to stop pushing.
yeah.
And every time, you think, well, that's the problem is there's a lot of complacency that happened for like the 90s, the 2000s. Everyone was like, oh, it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And look where we are now.
Yeah.
It's at the point where, yeah, every little bit more hurts even more. And, people have lost the sense of themselves, the community, the family, the religion. It's just a mess. It's absolutely a mess. I mean, I see people, especially in California, probably more than any other state. I see people walking around there just on video, and I'm just like, these people don't have God. They don't have any like standards. They don't have any like self-respect, and they're encouraged to be that way. They're encouraged to just have no standards for themselves. To just be
yeah,
the lowest form of somebody, just because oh well, who cares? Don't discriminate against them. It's like, no, it's okay to. I'm
yeah,
sorry, I'm going to judge.
yeah.
It's not how we are in other states. It's not like that across the country. They would love, Newsom talks all the time about how he's going to, spread California across the country. No, we don't want
Not going
that
to happen.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah, something you said reminds me, like you said, by design, right? How that's one
Hmm.
of the
Mhm.
things that kind of woke me up. Like, people would do the videos with like it's conspiracy that the government created, like incentivize, I should say, incentivize single parent homes, the
Hmm.
welfare
Yeah.
system,
Yep.
inner city, that's one of the
Oh
things
yeah.
yeah, for me that kind of, I would say, kind of woke me up when I like the light bulb moment, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that's true, they incentivize moms to leave the dads, the kids are vulnerable, to any type of influence. they
And
they
what happens if you don't have a strong man in the house?
Yes, you look for anything, and then that the gangs. Like for myself in the '90s or like late '90s, whatever, mid '90s, like the gang stuff. The friends, the drugs, all
Mhm.
that stuff, and now there was like a perfect plan for them, because now the people who are kind of waking up, and some parents that you meet out there are like people who know that they were kind of like the result of that, and now they're having
Mhm.
kids, and they're like, wait a minute, I have to protect my kids,
Yep.
and these
Mhm.
all these bad laws and all these things that they did are making it hard for me to do that, because the machine already has so much force. The RPMs are so high already, or I'm not a motor guy, but the train's already going so fast that it's
Yep.
gonna take a lot to slow it down.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the design, right? Like, so would and you said, you just were realizing and seeing videos that design. started probably in the late 19th century with the birth of communism, okay, in Europe, right? And they infested Latin America and Europe almost immediately, like that, right? But they knew the way the United States is built, okay, it wasn't going to be so easy. So Scott and I talk about this all the time, especially on our side. We get so upset that people on our side don't know how to play the long game. The commies do, okay, and they did it fantastically in this country. They infiltrated every institution in the United States of America, not just our schools, but our churches. They took God out of people's houses. What you were just talking about, breaking up the nuclear family. Okay, if you have two parents who are strong, okay, and they're building a life for their children, all right, and instilling them with values and God, whatever it is, all right, you build a stronger child, and that child becomes an important person to the community because they're strong and whatever it is that they decide to do. But they broke all of that up. And going to what Scott was saying, this goes back, at least for we've been listing for the last 30 to 40 years, okay, further and further over to the left. We dodged a serious bullet in this last election, but this design and this infiltration goes back to the late 19th century here in the United States.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also like I'm gonna piggyback on Scott when he was saying about complacency. Like, spiritually speaking, like I feel like believers they're just sliding. You know what I mean? They were sleeping. They're
Going with the
I'm
flow.
blessed. I'm doing my thing. And for me, that was like one of the main things is like, well, God summed up like love your neighbor as yourself. And if people are not fighting, like, loving their neighbor as their self, then we're just living for ourselves pretty much. We're being selfish. And so that struck me hard when I decided to go to my first city council meeting. I was like, I was nervous. I was telling him, oh my God, I feel like I need to go speak out on this. Like, and I hadn't been taught that, walking with God. Like I hadn't, like maybe I was like 10 years in and I've never heard anybody say like, you got to stand for righteousness, or you have to fight and get involved
There's
politically. Yeah, and so I feel like that affected a lot too. That people were just like, or let's live it up. Let's we just go to church on Sunday, check the box, we're good,
You know,
and it's not like that. It's more than that. It's not going to church on Sunday. It's standing for righteousness. It's fighting for the right thing, and especially right now. Because it's the children that are being affected, and it's the most vulnerable. And so I feel like that should wake everyone up.
Yes, Scott.
if only people, you know what though? Look at the impact Trump has already had in 7 months.
Mhm.
The impact, and I'm talking, and I mean it. I mean, all of these hospitals are no longer. They've decided they're not gonna perform these surgeries because they don't
Exactly.
want to. They don't want to fight it. They don't want to fight it in court. Why don't they fight it in court? If it's
Because
something
they
they really
lose.
believe in, why don't they fight it in court?
Yeah.
If these schools with the how many schools or U.S. swimming, I think, or U.S. I think the swim team, the Olympics, the world
Olympics.
boxing, they're all just like, yeah, we're not going to have women in sport, men and women's sports anymore.
Yeah,
Why
we're
not
done with
fight
it.
it? Why not
They're
fight it?
apologizing,
How,
actually,
Yeah.
huh?
how come these schools that are these schools with it's not even just with the kids, the anti-Semitism on campus, the radicalism, they're just like, oh yeah, yeah, oh we're going to stop it. Is it really just money?
Yeah.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Not one, not one administration stepped down and said, "We don't believe this. We're just going to quit." Not
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
administrator has stepped down and said, "I am not doing it." They've all said, "Okay, we'll change." I mean,
Yep.
some of them are still fighting it, saying like it's a slow change or they're trying to
Yeah.
be clever about it. But what I'm saying is like nobody's just no, nobody's just like, nope. We're just I
Yeah.
refuse to act this way because it's not right. No, they're all literally just saying no. It's about the money.
About the
So
money.
when you say like, yeah, they've been incentivized to do it, yeah, they were incentivized to do it. They were incentivized by just saying do this or you won't get money. Well, it's just easy. It could be that easy to just push it the other way and be like, listen, if if the Republicans would fucking excuse my language, just just get their act together and
Yeah.
coalesce a little more. They
Yeah.
have the majority right now. If they would just get together, get rid of the rhinos, the size,
Yes.
I tell Eric, it's not just the fight on the ground too; it's the fight everywhere, because we have to keep pushing. And I don't mean go far right, that you freaking hate
Yeah,
people for their skin color or hate people for their religion.
Right.
I don't mean far right, although that's what they think.
They
that's what
call
they
us all
think.
that anyway.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
Just
Yes.
saying, because we're just trying to, for reality, we're just trying to get back to center at this
Yeah.
point. We're trying to just get back to a balance. And, if they can just, Trump's going to be here for 4 years. If they play their cards right, you're going to have JD Vance for another 8. Maybe JD Vance and Rubio,
Yep.
or somebody better. I'm not saying Rubio's the best vice president candidate either, but maybe somebody even better. Personally, I
He's
would love
changed
Byron
considerably.
Donalds.
I like Byron
Personally, I'd
Donalds.
still love,
Yeah.
but dude,
Yeah.
if it was Vance and Donalds,
Yeah.
they'd destroy them.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
they would rip everybody
Destroy
apart.
them.
Yes.
And then guess what? And then Donald's another 8 years after that, because he's going to be president. I want to have the Democrats say, "Oh, he's a white supremacist." I can't
Yeah.
wait.
I'm gonna say so,
media-
the first real
It's going to
black
be content.
president.
Yeah, it's going to be content galore for people like me and Eric. We're going to be loving it. I'm
You're
going to
gonna
be in the
loving
old
it. So
folks
the
home
shows
making
are gonna be
memes with my
epic.
arthritis. But
No,
think of
and-
that. That'd be 20 years if they play their cards right. 20
we can.
years. That's not impossible.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Well, tripping on like the money part, right? I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but remember the Olympic swimmer, the one that got like 10 medals,
Leah Thomas.
Michael
Michael
Phelps.
Phelps.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps, right?
I was thinking you were talking about the one who.
Yeah, well, that's what
cheated.
I'm going.
No, William Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, William Thomas.
Yeah, William
right?
Thomas.
So
Excuse me.
the money thing, right? Michael Phelps, they found out, I guess, he inhaled, right? They removed all his Wheaties endorsements. Remember they
because he smoked
ostracized
weed.
him?
Yeah, because he liked to smoke weed.
Yeah, they ostracized him because of that. And then here you have, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years later, maybe less. But William Thomas, he's a man competing in the women's women's swimming, collegiate swimming,
college.
And college, yeah, and he's congratulated for that, because the financial part, they see how many surgeries they can get from this guy. Like, that was like the endorsement for surgeries right there.
Testosterone levels through the roof.
Yeah, it's definitely a butcher shop that just makes a lot of money. It was a money making scheme. Like Scott was saying, once the money gets pulled away, they'll find different ways to try to make that money and stuff like that. But Maria, you said something about with your neighbors and stuff like that, and righteousness. But there's a such thing as righteous anger. Okay, and there's not enough of it. All right, that is not enough of it that needs to be done, right? And it's people like us that have it. We have it, okay, which is why we do this show, because we're constantly trying to get the message out. There's that righteous anger has to start coming back out of people, and shaming people, shaming the fucking idiots. Excuse my language. Shaming the
calling
idiots.
them out.
Yeah, calling them out. Okay, bring back just like just calling people retarded, right? Because like I'm gonna say you're being really retarded right now, because it's just. That's what they are. All right. It's we got to start bringing that righteous anger back and what do you call it? And just taking it back, because it's just very important for us to take things back.
Retarded and fag. Make retarded and fag words again.
Being real gay right now. You're being a gay retard. It's just like it's true. We gotta stand up and look, Scott and I are gonna continue, like he said, we're gonna continue to do the show, and if we can get people elected, help get people elected that can change this country, we'll do our darndest to do it. We'll work our asses off to do it. Scott and I we brought politicians on. We got more coming up and stuff like that. We got a great show actually coming up on Monday for everyone. I'll announce it a little bit later when I what do you call it? Get ready
next
to break.
Week's gonna be crazy.
A little bit. Yeah, next week's gonna be crazy. But we
got next week.
We got a really big politician coming up on
Monday.
Is it Chad Bianco?
It's not Chad Bianco. No, it's not. It's someone very important for the state of Texas.
Oh,
we already brought somebody for Texas 33. We brought Peyton Jackson on.
Peyton Jackson.
I'll just say it. We're bringing Sheldon Daniels on Monday.
Oh, I just
yeah.
Nice.
He's coming on. He's coming on Monday with us. So
I like what you
guys heard.
What about next Friday?
I'll let you go ahead and say it. Who we got
Is
next
that
Friday, man?
is it next Friday or is it the following Monday? I'm trying to remember.
No, we got Sheldon Daniels this Monday, and I forgot who we got. I got to go back and look. We're keeping it going.
It's another duo from California.
Yes.
Is that
Okay. And
Monday
then
or Friday?
no, it's Monday. So Monday
Okay, it's
the
second
18th.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday the 18th. We got the Danny Silva and what's her name? McKenna. Goodness,
McKenna
Scott. What's her name?
McKenna
McKenna
Blackman.
Blackman. The host of
She's on OWN,
yeah, she's on OAN.
One American News
She's on
Network, and
the
Danielle
One American
Silvest.
News and Daniel
Yeah.
Silvas. They're coming on. So we got
Mhm.
we're bringing people, everybody who can get the word out. But Sheldon Daniels, fam, is who we're gonna have on Monday night. Okay, he's gonna drop in probably about
Yeah.
about the second half, because he's coming
Set
in
your
8 p.m.
alarms.
Central. Yeah, set your alarms. He's gonna be in with us.
If you don't know him, he's the one going up against Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw his post. Post you guys posted. He said, "I like how he said, it had me
Mhm.
laughing." He's like,
Yes.
something Crockett for they them." He said, "Sheldon
Yeah.
Daniels for the people." I was like, "Yeah, that was a good one."
Yep.
Yeah, he's good. He's fantastic, and he's as a matter of fact, he's on one of the big shows tonight. But Scott, hit him in one direction. I hit him from the other direction, and we were able to get him
Oh
to come
yeah.
and chill with
So
us.
I think next
We
Friday he's actually gonna be on Tommy Lauren's show.
I think he's on tonight. I saw
Oh, tonight? Oh,
I
I thought
think
it was
he's on
next
tonight.
Friday.
No, I
I thought
think
it
he's
was
on
next
tonight.
Friday. Okay.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, then he's gonna be on with us on Monday.
Well, that's exactly how we feel about, if somebody's running, we go full force. I remember last year, we were helping one of our friends that actually won District 58. It
Oh
was our immediate district.
yeah.
She ran against a
Cervantes.
Democrat seat that they've been holding off to it for a
Mhm.
long time, and we knew this radical left is currently sitting in our city council, and I'm like, oh no, she is not gonna win. And we went full force.
Yeah,
It was all grassroots, like
yeah.
a bunch of our friends were knocking
Leticia
doors.
Castillo. Her name
Let's see,
is
yeah,
Leticia Castillo, State Assembly 58. But she beat out one of the Cervantes sisters.
Cervantes
Yeah.
sisters.
But we were in the hood, like we were like Casablanca's like one of the hoods out here in Riverside. We're knocking on doors, talking to the people that some of them don't know they can vote, but they don't speak English. But
Mhm.
they're like, oh no, this and that. I'm like, well, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on.
Yeah.
And some of them were like, whoa, really? Okay, can you give me the information? Like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for her. Like,
we
Mhm.
were bilingual, so
yeah,
we got to talk to them about what the bills, what's going on. Oh, if you vote for that person, that they support that bill, da da da. And
Yep.
it was amazing because we got to change some minds. Like, here's the information, read it for yourself. And she won the
Mhm.
district.
nice.
Yeah,
It's good. You have to start
That's
small. It's better to build from the ground up, not from the top
yep.
down. Everyone thinks
exactly.
that, we elected Trump and that's going to solve everything. No, he's just one position.
Yes,
At the
and that
top.
was one of
Because he's
the
at the top, it doesn't make everything.
disappointments in the beginning of the year, when we just heard a lot of like, well, Trump's won already, he's going to take care of everything, and we're
Nope.
like, no, this is our time to go harder. Like,
Yes.
we got some grace time, like, go hard
Mhm.
for 4 years, like, fight as much as you can. But yeah, we felt like a lot of people just kind of like lay loose, like, oh, he won, he's going to take care of
Complacency.
everything.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
it-
We
and it's
say it
like,
all the
no,
time, man.
California does
Mhm.
not want to follow federal law. Like, they're not following
Yeah.
federal law. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk
But
about it
you
all
have-
the time about grassroots and how important it is, not just locally, just that the thing that Trump, like what Scott was saying, Trump is just one man, okay? And we need to think beyond him at this point, all right? Because he's done.
he's not going to be here long.
He's not gonna be here. Once 28 comes around, he's done. All right. And if we can get JD Vance and if he brings Byron Donalds and or Rubio has changed considerably. He learned when he got his ass handed to him in 2016 and got embarrassed. All right.
yeah,
Ever since that day, all right, he has learned a lot from Trump. Okay, and you can see his spine has stiffened because he came out as a conservative, went really rhino for a while, and he's back to what he was, okay, from when he
Mhm.
first started out and stuff like that. And his spine has stiffened with what do you call it, with the president, especially the president picking him as Secretary of State. He's one of the most important men in the world right now.
Yeah.
Conserve says Conserve
That's
says unless he finds a way to get the third term and melts the brains of every single
yeah.
that would
That's
be
one of my
outstanding.
favorite things to say. I always say Trump 2028.
We said we were gonna make
Oh.
sure
Yeah.
make the liberals
See,
make the
people ask
liberals super mad.
people say that to me, but you know what? I don't want Trump 2028
Yeah, no, we don't want that's
because
gonna give him ammo. Yeah.
I mean not
Yeah.
not because I think he would do bad. I don't want him to become Biden. Like I
No,
don't want
yeah,
him to be like
Oh
a
yeah.
shell.
that is true.
He's old. You know,
Yeah.
if he was JD Vance's age, I'd be like, yeah, go for it. All for
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't want his last image to be like, you know, he's bumbling or he's in a wheelchair or he's just like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Speaking of old, like I encourage your viewers, like Maria and I, we were going to like the meetings at the parks in our neighborhood, like nothing but old people there. Like I'm talking about like 80s, 70s, 90s. Like
Probably
we
bust them in.
yeah, well, we were going because they're they'll have like the police chief going to talk to or the community meetings, like community meetings in your neighborhood. Like don't sleep on community meetings. Like you get a network with some people that have been doing it for a long time. Like some
Yes.
we met some patriots in those meetings where like, man, I I
We didn't
wish you
know that.
were our age right now because you were probably a force to be reckoned with, you know. But then people have helped the movement also, like these older cats that are sitting at those community meetings and
The
knowing
OGs, man. They're all OGs,
OGs,
man.
OGs, yeah, they
Yeah.
know the laws, they know executive, all the branches, they're telling us what this branch does this branch does that, like we're learning from them, like we're new to this, so um
Yeah.
we're network with them.
You have to remember that probably 2 years ago we were like, huh?
Like
Like we
33,
did 3 years, yeah, like
33,
3 years. When I saw the bill, the first bill I ever read, and I'm like, so how how is this passed again? Because it goes to the Senate and it goes to
Yeah.
appropriation, it goes to the floor, and I'm like, I had to learn all of that. I'm like, wow,
Well,
school
they
really
stopped
doesn't
teaching
teach you.
civics. As a kid,
Yeah.
we were still learning.
Right.
I'm going to be 52 this year. Okay, in
you look good,
elementary
bro.
school, we were still learning civics. In straight into high school, I was still in junior high school. We had a civics class, and then we had what do you call it? U.S. history and the U.S. Constitution were a class put together. All right. And like, the first half was US history and the second half was the US Constitution. Okay. And that was in 11th grade. But all through my childhood, we were still having civics. Fortunately, okay, I had parents that we were never on that plantation. My parents were never anywhere near that plantation. Okay. And they instilled in me and my brothers like the right ideals at a young age. We all went through I went through my little progressive stage. I wasn't progressive per se, but for me it was progressive. All right, like all young people do, right? Like you go through a rebellious phase and stuff like that. But I woke up very, very quickly. The Marine Corps woke me up, right? And then after 9/11, I went into the Army and I found myself in Iraq, and that changed me for life. When I came home from Iraq, I was a complete, total different mindset. All right, and what we needed to do in this country, and how to make it better and stuff like that. So I've been on that path for a very long time. But in our community, being Latinos doesn't make a difference. Whether I'm Puerto Rican, the Mexicans, we have this freaking, we have the Latin American socialism that's stuck. It doesn't make a difference because it's on the island, it's in
Yes.
Mexico,
Yeah.
it's all the way down through Central America into South America. Okay. And the
Yes.
Latin American socialism is worse than the European socialism.
Mhm.
Okay. It's even more tyrannical. They're like, all we have to do is look at what's going on in Brazil, right? If anybody's paying
Yeah.
Right.
attention to what's going on in Brazil, it's a nightmare. Right,
Yes.
right. So like, we understand, right? When our parents are like, yeah, we don't want to be like that. Okay, trust me, you don't want to be like that. Okay. We're gonna do things right here in the United States and enjoy what it is that we have. So,
Yeah,
it's tough.
that was I got a lot of people sending comments and questions when the whole immigration thing was happening. So I'm Mexican American. So yeah, I was born in Mexico, right? And I came here through the process, everything. I got my citizenship. And oh, you're a traitor, da 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 da. And I'm like, you don't understand. You never lived in Mexico. There are more progressive over there. You're either rich, and that's because you're born into being rich, or you're poor and you're like very poor, like And so I feel like if you don't understand that and you've lived it and you've been there, you can't come out here and wave a flag and say, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna fight for all the illegals." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't. You have
Yeah.
no understanding of what people are coming to the United States for.
Yeah.
Did the
That's
Cubans
true.
get it? The Cuban. I have some Cuban friends, and most of them are like, hardcore Trump supporters, conservatives. Like,
Now, if you talk to not just the Cubans, if you talk to the Venezuelans that are in like Florida and stuff like that, they'll tell you the same thing, right? So just to answer Jay, um yeah, yeah, the South America and Central America we know was colonized by the Spanish and Portuguese, but like from the 19th century on, the infiltration with Marxism has been astronomical in Latin America as a whole. And it's just completely corrupted a whole bunch of those countries and stuff like that. But you're 100% correct. Spanish and Portuguese obviously colonized many of those countries and whatnot. But I'm talking from like the 19th century, late 19th century on. It's just a nightmare. I went to Venezuela in 1996. Okay, that was the year before Hugo Chavez got elected. All right. And I don't want to tell you how beautiful that country is. I was in Caracas. Okay. It was a very beautiful city, very, very wealthy country. When they still had artisans at the time, they still had artisans, okay, from Europe,
wow.
Italian artisans that stayed in Venice, that came to Venezuela way back when, okay, and just kept the family business going where they were making blown glass, they were making carving stone. It was amazing to see, okay, like how cultured they were. And then Hugo Chavez came in, and he was duly elected by the people, nationalized everything, and then it just went right to shit in like no time flat.
Yeah, yeah, fast.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happens very quickly, very quickly. And what did
Yes.
they do? First, they took the guns. Once they started taking people's guns away, okay, and the way for them to protect themselves, that's what the commies do when they take people's weapons away. So that's why our Second Amendment protects
yeah.
absolutely every other right, okay, in the Bill of Rights. So you
Man,
know we gotta
amen to
yeah, we
that.
gotta continue to be 2A. I'm glad I'm in a 2A state with a constitutional carry. So um,
Yeah,
it's just it sucks that I have to go get a freaking conceal if I want to go to other states, but it is what it is.
yeah,
Right. I
yeah,
know.
It's okay. Like my conceal here in the state of I'm in South Carolina. Everybody knows that. It's what do you call it? It's 36 states recognize this, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
yeah.
I have it too.
Yeah, right on, right on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Do they
and
make
it's
it
and,
hard
and,
in
and
California?
and yeah,
Yeah,
and they
well,
make it hard as hell in California.
well,
I
yes.
don't usually hear too many people complaining about it in California, but I'm sure it's
Yeah.
tough.
not in Riverside County, the county that Chad Bianco is a
He's the sheriff.
He's a
sitting
sheriff,
sheriff.
right?
Yes, that Riverside County, San Bernardino is like maybe I would say a runner up, but Riverside County, if you just apply, that you're gonna get it fast. You'll get it fast. Not LA
It works.
County, 50 miles away. LA County, maybe less than 50 miles. You're gonna wait 3 years.
Oh,
I know people
goodness
have been waiting
gracious.
2, 3 years. Two, three
Wow.
years for yeah.
And it never works, right? All these states that have like these strict, 2A laws that violate the Constitution, because that's what they do. It's a violation of our rights. All right. They
Yes.
absolutely freaking have the worst crime epidemics in some of their cities. All you got to do is look at LA, New York City. New York City, I'll tell you how bad it is in New York and New York City. In New York, if you get a state license, right, it's not recognized in the city of New York. You have to get a separate license for the city of New York. It's why when I was living there, I didn't even bother because I was like, I travel into the city and stuff like that. If I fucking take one with my state license and
Yeah,
I go into the city, I can get arrested because they
yeah.
don't recognize the state. You got to have their license,
New
right?
York
And they
City
and they
license.
make it incredibly hard for you to get it. So it's like I'm not even gonna bother. But I came to South Carolina and wasted no time.
Nice.
Wasted
Yeah.
I,
zero time. I was just like, I was in and
you
out.
know, here in even LA, I'll say LA, right? Because we're close to LA. Watched a video today of LAPD. They were pulled some guy over on a bike. The guy started running. The guy was running, pulled out a gun, shot at the cops. The cop threw himself on the ground. I guess the guy dropped the gun but kept running. If all this progressive freaking crazy wokeness going on in LA, the cop didn't even shoot him. or maybe even 20 years ago, if some dude pulls out a gun and shoots at a
What?
officer,
Yo,
yeah,
back in the day, LA
hey,
you would have got murked quick back in the day in
Mark,
Los
hey,
Angeles.
the video, it's on social media right now. The one of the officers, I mean, he did a badass tackle. He chased them, put his head down, dipped them, and then like give 2 punches, and then they handcuffed them. But I'm like, man, that's how bad it is for law enforcement. They have to get shot at, and not be able to shoot back. They have to tackle a guy because they'll
Wow.
probably get arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably get arrested for
Well,
for
even,
shooting at a guy who shot at them.
well, even when you're trying to get your license, you got to go to this class for 2 days, and it's
Yeah.
all lost. And I'm like, do I really want this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I want
Well,
this
it's
anymore.
you just said something important, right? Do I really want this? Okay. It is done deliberately to dissuade you, okay, from doing it.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Scott went with the headphones, with the podcast headphones.
Oh yeah, he is.
Can't hear you, bro.
Yeah.
How about now?
Got you.
Yes.
That's Scott Perry. Yeah, he said he shaved.
Does it sound okay?
Yeah, you sound good, man.
Yes.
You're good.
Okay. I just literally got these. I walked into the other room just to take a quick break and get water, and my wife was like, "Hey, I got some headphones." I was like,
Nice.
"Okay."
It's
It's not my
Yeah.
you look like
birthday, so okay.
you look like a true podcaster now, Scott.
Well, yeah, well, Howard Stern is on, so let's take over,
Yeah.
baby. Come
I
on,
know, right?
get that $100 million contract on Sirius.
Chelsea
Yeah.
says
Beats,
beats by Dre Scott.
Yeah.
beats by Daywalker. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll give my wife some props. Take this opportunity to give my wife some props because, man, she helped me wake up too. And there's been times where I'm like deadbeat tired, like, oh man. She's like, oh, this is going on, this is going on. I'm like, man, do we really have to go? And I say it out loud, and I'm like, yes. I answer my own question, and
Yeah.
homegirl got stamina for this, and I'm like, there's still even right now, like with Trump winning, and we're getting all these wins, right? All over the country.
Mhm.
Not California. We know California is like the exception, but I tell myself like, do we really have? Do we really have to? Do we really have to? And the answer is yes. We really have to because I feel like we got momentum and we have to just
Actually,
capitalize on it.
you have some wins on California too, don't they?
Yeah.
Didn't
It,
there's been some stuff. I
Title
mean, I'm not
Nine.
saying a lot, but
Yeah.
didn't the big hospital there in LA
Yes.
stop
Cedar
doing
Sinai.
Kaiser
Yeah.
Permanente.
Yes.
didn't they
Kaiser and
stop
Cedar
doing the
Sinai.
what surgeries that they
Yes.
swore they weren't doing? He
Yes.
he he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Title
Hey,
Nine thing.
we gotta start somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Violation of
Title
everything.
9 for allowing biological boys to play in girls sports. And we know it's gonna take time, but it got the national spotlight. And yeah, there's people that don't agree with it, and now we just need people to vote like they don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Um,
2026, we need to remove as many Democrats we can from the seats that they're having. And then I mean we're all for Chad Bianco for governor. That's our stance on that. And Sonia Shaw for superintendent of
100%.
California.
How much has Karen Bass been exposed as a national laughing stock? Like,
Oh
we
my
yeah,
didn't
God.
even know who Karen Bass was before this year. Like, we didn't. You might have, but
yeah,
we did.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And now
Yes.
she's like the biggest joke. Like every time she gets up on camera, she inserts her foot in her mouth every single day. Like
Always.
she should
Yes.
never go near a camera again.
I love
Yeah,
Yeah.
it because a lot of Angelinos are waking up.
Hmm.
Most of our family lives in
yeah,
LA, and they're young. They don't care about politics or anything. But last
Hmm.
year, let me tell you, they were
they
sister.
just
Where do we vote? What do we do? And we got
Hmm.
like a
yeah,
lot of
a
our
lot of
family
family.
members.
Yep.
Should I check?
Yeah,
What
man.
box should I check? I'm like,
It
I
should
can't
piss.
tell you, but I would
It
kind of
should
go with
piss.
the one with the R in front of it.
I can't tell you, but I can't tell you. Just can't tell you this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
we
can't.
yeah,
T-
can
I
tell you.
can't tell you not to check this one right here.
yes,
Don't check
yeah,
this one right here.
yeah,
But it's been
Yeah.
a great thing to see our family members, actually waking up with us,
Hmm.
because what are you guys doing? What are you posting on social media? Like, what is that? And then listening to these policies that are affecting their kids, and they're like, "Oh, this is real. This is
Yeah.
real." You know?
It's nothing. Nobody. When people tell me, well, I'm not into politics, I was like, well, politics is definitely into you. No matter what you do in life, there's a political game going on. It's not just the RD, independent, libertarian thing. Okay. Every aspect of your life right now has some form of politics. When you get on the football field, right? You're a football player, you're talking to a kid. Okay. There's a political game that you have to play, right? On top of your skill in order to make sure you get minutes, okay, on the field
Yes.
and whatnot. All right. So it's like it's everything is political in life. Unfortunately, wish it wasn't, but it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no, but I'm just not into politics. So you better start paying attention. And you know when they start paying attention? When they have their first kid. Then
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's like,
exactly.
holy shit, this is gonna affect my children. Yeah, I tried to tell you that 10 years ago when when I was saying
Yeah.
vote against this, vote against this, vote against this, but you didn't
Exactly.
listen.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and that's the reality of it. When
You
people
know
start
what?
having children,
Yeah.
then they start paying attention.
Exactly. You know what, Eric? Like this last year, but for me, it was like I was preaching life or death. Like this is life or death. I was like, I mean, I would say I kind of grew a sack for saying the right, because I've always been, I say, brave, right? But the life or death, the approach that I took, I was like, I would even tell guys, when Kamala was like, running up against Trump, I was like, yeah, a vote for Kamala is a vote for P Diddy. Might as well vote for P Diddy. It, I got to the point where we're having like a meeting with like bunch of union guys, right? About 100 guys early in the morning, and the main guy holding the meeting is like, yeah, we're union. It was November 1st, a Monday. He's like, yeah,
Mhm.
tomorrow's, we're voting, and we know that's why we get these $5 co-pays. That's who you have to vote for, to keep these $5 co-pays. And I yelled, everybody knew who I was. I said, I yelled, yeah, and also $5 sex changes, and everybody started laughing. And I'm like, and then I was telling guys like, bro, they fired me. I don't care. They can fire me all they want. There
Yeah.
was people writing. Like, I was building a big job in LA, huge job, right? And people were writing Trump 2024, like spray painting it like in the building, because the buildings are getting built. And then
Yeah.
they had people pulling me to the side, like safety people, and I was saying like, hey, bro, like, I'm like, hey, I didn't do nothing. I didn't touch nothing. I'm not writing anything. I'm just I can freedom of speech.
Yeah, they
I
went
can
right to you automatically,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah, they
it's
go
like
right to
his
me. I'm
fault.
like, hey, freedom of speech. And I told my wife, like, man, if I get fired, are you gonna be okay with it? I'm telling all these guys, I'm telling all these youngsters, like, I'm letting them know, like, hey, you got kids, you have a wife, you have a family, like, this is how you need to vote, because this was happening. Like, I'm not just telling you this without any proof of what I'm saying. Like, look at this, go to this,
Right.
and there was a point where I told Maria, I'm like, are you gonna get upset if I get fired? And she was like, no, I'm not gonna get upset. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna keep pushing then.
So
So
God's in control. He has a verse in his
profile,
profile that
yeah,
says, "We don't have a spirit of fear, but of
not
a sound mind."
scared of fear, but a power, love, and of a sound mind. So
And that's
Absolutely,
kind
man.
of that's kind of been our lead from the beginning. There's all kinds of organizations and like, hey, you want to be part of this, you want to be part of that. But I was like, you know what? I want to be led by God, because I don't want to commit to something and then fall short. I want to know that, hey, I'm going to the school board because I am prompted to go, because I want to, right? Not because
Right.
they're telling me to go. But that was our experience when we realized, oh, we need to pay attention, because we had our daughter and we had moved to Riverside. I was like, good, we're in Riverside now. My kids are not. I went to public school, right?
Right.
sorry, I just read what CRT mom wrote right now. I can't hold it
Go
in.
ahead, let it out, man.
Okay, go ahead.
and
I
um
put it up
and
on the
then
screen for everybody to see.
Yeah, put it up. That has to be read.
and I started seeing I started walking through schools, like, what school am I gonna pick for my daughter? She's gonna start school. I want to be that mom that takes cupcakes and stuff. And then I started seeing flags and books, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And that's when realized, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna homeschool.
And that, it's a great way to segue into that, because I said we'll talk about that later about the homeschooling, because I seen you had Maria has her links are in the description, so that if you want to get the information on homeschooling that she has a whole bunch of links on her link tree. So anybody who's interested, by all means, please click on her link. So not only to follow her, but to get any information on homeschooling. But I have to just do one thing, and then we'll get into the homeschooling. Fam, don't forget to pick up your Scars and Stripes coffee. Okay, it's great blend, great company. They're all about, like I said, God, family, and country. That's why, I wear their hat, and that's why I drink their blend. That's what they're all about. Chad Watts, the owner, um, fantastic dude, and there's just a great. They're all about empowering the veterans with entrepreneurship and stuff as well. With some of the money that they make, um, goes towards veteran entrepreneurship. So, gotta just say that, and don't forget to sign up for the Discord, fam. On August 16th, we got a movie night, and Jonathan, you got to post what movie. I think Jonathan gets to pick the movie because it was his birthday this month, so he picked the movie. Just post it in the chat and let everybody know what movie we got going on. I think it was he told me. I just don't, off the top of my head, my memory is for shit. But homeschooling. Did you start like a network of homeschooling, like to homeschool a bunch of kids, or just your own?
Just my own.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had a few friends, that were encouraging me to homeschool for a long time, and I was like, no, I can't do that. No, I'm not. You're like, I'm not good enough. But that seeing those things at school is what caused me to be like, oh no, like I'm not gonna send my kid to school to be confused, and then I'm over here working, going to work, driving far. And we had a long conversation, and actually it was like about a year of prayer for me, because I was raised in that generation where it's like independent woman, like I can do everything on my own, I don't need a man, and I gotta work and all that. And
Learned
so
that
it
shit
was
the hard
hard.
way, didn't you, Maria?
Yeah.
Yes. And so when like we finally came to an agreement, and Jose's like, you know what, babe, no, you have to stay home with the kids. You gotta, that's our priority, and I was like, okay, let's do this. So I started just going to a lot of seminars and conventions over here, like homeschool conventions. We have a big one in Ontario, and just gravitating to all the homeschool moms and asking questions, uh, looking up the laws and looking up everything that I had to do. And I just went for it. And I was like, let's do it. First year, I was
Nice.
confused. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to ruin my child. But I went through this program, like a parent certification program that taught me so much. And the second year, I was like, I'm doing this forever.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to cut her off, but I'm going to give her some, because you talked about a network, right? She doesn't have a network per se, but I give her a lot of credit for having a lot of moms homeschool due to her encouragement. Like, she gives like all these moms like the information. Like, I saw her evolve. Like, I would never think, like, English is our second language, right? We're Mexican. We kind of grow up. Our parents speak to us in Spanish when we're kids, so we kind of learn English in school. So we get that LA Spanish, we get that. That's what
Oh,
we
don't worry
know,
about it.
So
I speak broken Spanglish, so don't worry about it.
Spanglish, exactly. Yeah, we're messed up English, and we're messed up in Spanish. We don't have a language, but
Right.
so like she went from like us questioning like we were gonna be able to teach our kids grammar and stuff like that to where she became a teacher for co-ops. The co-ops are like
Nice.
for like a couple co-ops, and became like a leader for those co-ops, and she's been in my kids' classes and stuff like that. So I'm like, man, it's been a huge encouragement. And she won't get the props. I mean, she won't want to receive the props, but I'll give her the props for like
Good.
everywhere we go. She's like talking to moms about like we go to jiu-jitsu, we go to the horse riding, like things we have our kids in. She's talking to other moms who like even the shirt, the "Don't Threat on Me" shirt starts a
Right.
conversation. Like people seeing, they're like, oh, and they start talking about stuff, and then we're like, real upfront and vocal. We're like, oh yeah, Newsom's a dirtbag, like, or like, and then next thing you know, it goes from that to where she's, giving the mom the information to homeschool, and she's like, hey, remember that mom we met at jiu-jitsu? Like, yeah, so and so, yeah, well, she's homeschooling now. Like, what, So
Nice.
that's happened many times. So
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
give
know
you
what you're
props for
gonna
that,
get
babe.
right now, Maria? You're gonna get some stars.
Bless you. I'm not.
And some fireworks.
Yeah.
Well, and my kids love it. I'm going into my third year, and I'm gonna have a kindergarten and a second grader. So yeah, it's
So
been a blessing.
this is for you from Chelsea. She says, "Hey Maria, I hate speaking at school board meetings, but I seem to be effective. It's a calling by God that I take very seriously." Amen. Because
Yes,
she is quite the fighter, Chelsea.
yes.
Yeah, you follow her, so I know you see her
I've
posts
heard.
all the
Yep.
time.
I
She's
just seen
ripping
her in
into somebody
Temecula.
every time she goes to a board meeting.
Yeah, I seen her in Temecula. And how they try to stop her and everything, and
Yeah.
yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like when the first time that I went to speak to city council, I told my husband, I can't do this. I don't know why I even feel like I need to go. And I told the Lord, I'm like, if I write something like without interruption, I'm going. If not, I'm not. I wrote
Right
that
on.
thing, right? I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going. And I'm not a public speaker at all, but I rely on the Lord all the time. And sometimes I shake, I'm shaking there, but I
It gets like
say
that,
my
you know.
my point across. Yeah.
Uh, There's nothing wrong with that shake and stuff like that. That's the shake of just like, it's not nervousness. It's you're in the middle of it, and your body's telling you to, hold on, hold on, hold on. So just that's all. You're not in a flight. You're definitely always in fight mode.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, and so a lot of the haters, I call them over here, yeah, they're like, yeah, she's homeschooling. Why is she even
What are
coming
you doing here?
here?
Say like,
And
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That's one thing that God made very clear to me when I came into the fight. I was like, okay, I'm taking care of my kids. They're with me. I'm homeschooling, and then the Lord's like, what about other kids? And I was like, huh? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be obedient. So
He's got
let's go
one
for it.
he's got a way about him of getting that message to us, doesn't he?
Yes.
I wanted to go to those meetings because I'm like, I'm gonna have my wife out there, fighting Wokies without me right there back her up in case somebody gets crazy, like that's
Yeah,
not our intention. Being physical is never that's like the last resort. But
yeah,
I
of
want to be
course.
there to protect my wife and the other moms out there. Like I would encourage men like when I first got on Instagram and I would do all these like lives like, hey man, we're going out to this um event, like hey, if there's a man out there listening, come through, man. We need you, we need you. There's a bunch of women out here, we need to be able to protect our women. They're out here,
It's a
being a
great
voice for our
great message,
children.
man.
Yeah, so that it was effective. I mean, we went to Temecula. It was a rally in Temecula, one of those street corner rallies, and on the way there, and we had something to do. We had something to do that weekend, and I think it was like maybe a wedding or something. And then we were like, man, we're gonna go to Temecula to that rally, man. Forget about that wedding. So on the way there, like I did a live and I'm right there, we get there and all that, and then some dad walks up to me. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm so and so. He gave me his handle, right? And I'm like, oh, all right, well, nice to meet you. He's like, I saw your live. I'm here. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, hey, good looking out, bro. Thanks, man. And I'm like, where'd you come from? He's like, Riverside. I'm like, eh. That was like a little
Encouragement.
like encouragement for
Yeah.
me, I don't need no credit, but I was like, all right,
No,
cool, man.
I think the message you got, Jose, is really good, right? Because like you said something very interesting. The women, okay, women have been fighting now for years, okay, fighting this battle, and we need. Hey, Tony, what's going on, hon? It's love to see you. Um, More fathers need to get involved. And we have one of our friends from California, Danny Cruz. Okay, he comes on and he's a father that's fighting. You've seen your videos, okay, which you're at the board with your baby next to you and stuff like that. You're
Yeah,
fighting, all right. And we need more fathers to come out and it's an important fight as parents as a whole, as both parents need to have. But we definitely need more fathers, and there are definitely more fathers that are coming out and starting to fight
yeah,
more
Yes.
and everything like that, and that'll help bolstering their wives, okay, to just tighten everything up and fight even harder, right? Knowing that their husband is there to just, it's not even a fight thing, right? Like you said, it's not big. I'm
yeah,
going there to make sure nobody gets stupid with my lady, but the reality is it has a really big effect, all right, on our wives and stuff like that when they see that their husband is right there with them, no matter
yeah,
what,
Mhm.
and they fight even harder, okay, for the babies, right? Because in the end, we're called by God to protect children, man. Okay,
Exactly.
we can't thrive as a society if we let children get hurt. All right, we have to mold
Yes.
them the right way and instill values in them so they can take on the fights after us. Right, so it's very important that we protect our kids in this country, and what you guys are doing is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so the patriots out there, like, uh, who would have thought? You know, growing up like an inner city and not really knowing what the flag uh, means and the sacrifices that men and women have made for our freedom. I give credit to this movement for uh, pretty much making me a patriot and appreciating like those have fought for us, like like yourself and um, just the sacrifices the families have made, like for our freedom. That kind of made my wife and I stronger in our patriotism. And we were honored to do. We were asked to do the opening prayer at you know, what's his name? Kareem, the young man who lost his life in Afghanistan. He's from our area. He's from Norco. His mom. We had it was a war. They call it the War Heroes event. You know, some patriots put
Okay.
it together.
Every
Yeah,
year.
they do it
Mm.
every year. It's like it's not a huge event, but we went to the Riverside National Cemetery.
It's huge for us. Trust
Yeah,
me, it's huge for us, man.
yeah,
And anybody who shows up to these events, um, my every other Wednesday co-host, Major Ed Polito, he's a disabled veteran that's he's an amputee vet. Okay, lost his leg to an IED in Iraq, and he's on the move constantly, fundraising and whatnot for his organization called Empower the Veterans, and it means a lot when people show up. To trust me, it means like even if we get three people, okay, and we've been blasting it for weeks on end, but we get three people, those three people are solid to us, and we'll we'll drink beer and have fun
yeah,
and barbecue with those three
yeah.
people if we have to. It means a lot.
Yeah, and it was an
Yes.
honor for us. They asked us to do the opening prayer, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I was like a heart stopper. I'm like, "Man, like, am I even worthy? Like, I'm just a guy. I've never served in the military, and but the Lord, gave us the right words, and we were able to encourage some people, and it was just great to be there, amongst all the veterans, and we did a caravan to the cemetery, and it was pretty cool. And I'm like, man, look, and then all because we're Christians, so and we know that God has a hand in this country, and
Very big
our
hand.
big hand. So that's like the foundation for us, and to be patriots is like the icing on the cake, So
And to be able to teach our children that, because I feel like even this movement helped us uh like teach our children even
yes.
more. Like my daughter loves America.
Oh yeah,
She's 7 years old, and every time we go out and eat, she's like, give me the receipt.
yeah,
America,
yeah, yeah,
God and
yeah,
Trump
Love it.
yeah,
Love it.
and she everything flag
yeah,
and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, because that is what I want. I want them to love their country. I want them to be able to see their parents and know, hey, we don't fear, because our parents are fighting for us, and we're fighting for their future. If you think about it, it's not for us, it's for them. So
Chelsea says her grandparents are buried there.
very,
The
it's a,
cemetery guys were talking about. Yeah,
it's a,
it's Scott, you could jump in. I'm sure you can agree with this too. As Latinos, okay, Latino patriots, we catch a lot of shit, right? Especially with this whole immigration thing. As if, like, for me, whether I was born on the island or born here in the United States, I was born here on the mainland. Okay, I would still be an American citizen no matter what, right? Being Puerto Rican, okay. For some reason, the adults on our side, okay, the idiots, all right, the leftist idiots think that we're gonna stop eating our food, stop listening to our music, and stuff like that, and we're gonna lose our culture somehow because we love this nation, all right, and we're willing to sacrifice for it, okay. I was willing to put it on the line. My grandfather, who was at Pearl Harbor, was willing to put it on the line. He survived three German U-boat sinkings during the North Atlantic runs during World War II. Okay, and he kept serving all the way to Vietnam as a merchant marine. All right, so my whole family is a family of service. People where we got cops, doctors, firemen, teachers. Okay, and it's all about service, not only to our community but to this nation. So for whatever reason, the idiots in our communities that think that we're gonna stop, like you're gonna stop eating carne asada, right? You're gonna stop that, like
yeah,
you're gonna stop
or
making it.
or Yeah, right. Huh?
Yeah.
Or
Right? Like,
burritos.
like I'm gonna stop eating freaking, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop eating
Yeah,
cuchi frito and shit like that. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
stop that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or stop listening to salsa music or some shit, right? Like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It never computes. But I know
Yeah.
Scott's definitely got an opinion on that because we've talked about this at length.
Yeah.
I
And
like
and
your
the real
headphones, Scott.
yeah, no, Sky, and then the like the people that, like who the real immigrants who came here for better life, for work, they're not the ones out there waving
Burning LA down.
burning alley down. It's just the kids who are the result of the incentivized single parent homes. Those are all
Right.
the kids out there destroying stuff, So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
it's kind of wild.
they it's a losing issue, believe it or not, in the Latin community as a whole, right? Especially for Latinos who came here and immigrated like you, Maria, right? And did it the right way. And we have a friend that comes on, okay, and watches and stuff like that. Um, and Rosie Riveter, if you ever see her in the chat and stuff like that, she drops in. Took her 25 years to get her citizenship, and she served the country.
Yeah,
See, that's what that's what I was telling you in the beginning, that people don't understand. Like, I always say, if you want to fight for Mexico, right? If you want to fight, if you want to wave the flag, then go to Mexico and
yeah,
fight, because there's real corruption over there,
yeah.
and
Right.
nothing's gonna change. Like, nothing's gonna change. Trust me, they're gonna kill you for trying to change things up over there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The president, they don't even know the president they
Madonna
have right now
too.
is a freak Marxist. Is a Marxist freaking. What's her name? Claudia Sheinbaum.
Time
She's bad.
Yeah, we could hear you, Scott. We got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was muted by accident there. I was trying to talk,
Oh,
but yeah, she's my wife is Mexican, and after she got elected, I was just like, "Do you have any problem with how she got elected?" She didn't even know. I was like, "What are you talking
Oh,
about? You don't know? I thought you were like all about Mexico." And then when I asked her about like Jewish people, she's like, "Oh yeah, there's lots of Jewish people in Mexico." I'm like, "Since when? Is there really a ton of Jewish people in Mexico? I don't think there's that many."
yeah. That was a bloody campaign, right?
I mean,
Her getting elected.
it's a bloody
yeah.
how many
Oh,
people
yeah.
died? How many people
34,
died? 30? Yeah, it was in the 30s.
37.
It's
Yeah,
definitely in
Yeah,
the
30s. Yeah.
30s.
34.
She
That's
definitely had that.
Can
She
you
definitely
imagine
had
if
that
that
Hillary
happened
Clinton
here?
body count.
Yeah, yeah, she did.
Exactly.
Can you imagine if 30 something people died en route to like Trump winning the election? It
Oh
would
my God.
never, I mean, it would, I mean, it would be running nonstop on CNN Loop saying
Yeah,
like, it was the worst thing in the history of the world. Like it would
Mhm.
never happen. Like there would be a civil war.
Yeah. 100%.
Like you'd have
yeah.
like, you- you'd have people with their soy lattes, bum rushing the White House.
Yep.
It was
Crazy.
like a news, and that's it. Next day, normal day, we have a new president. It
Maybe.
was,
Yeah, but
It's
it just,
crazy,
yeah,
man.
it's crazy.
It's very
yeah.
nuts to watch.
But
We take for granted our system here in the United States and how close we came to actually losing it. I know we don't take for granted because we're constantly trying to educate people, but it's we came very, very close to sliding into that, uh, communist hellhole that has destroyed so many other countries. I mean, all we have to do is look at a number of countries in our own hemisphere where, again, like I said, since the late 19th century, Marxism has been a thing in Latin America as a whole. And it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
help now that we got the Chinese there freaking pushing their efforts too.
yeah,
And they're right in our backyard, okay, making things
Hmm.
worse.
Yeah. Well, and I real quick, I know not to change the subject, but I wanted to go
Go
back
ahead.
to the homeschool thing,
No, go
where
ahead. Absolutely.
before, because I know time's already coming to an end almost, but even with us, taking our kids out of school and like doing the homeschool thing, like we're still getting attacked in California with homeschool. We have AB 84
mhm,
the same day. This is crazy to me. The same day on August 18, three bills are going to be read that day. AB 84, it's AB 727, and AB 495. AB 495 is the one legalizing child trafficking.
Yeah.
727 is where they want to add the Trevor Project in every kid's ID so that they can have access to these.
The hotline for the suicide hotline that goes to the Trevor Project, which is
There's chat rooms, and the chat rooms were titled like gay men or age regression. So
What the
it's
fuck?
from
yeah,
ages
yeah.
13 to 24. So some kid can just go in and talk to,
Scott Wheeler.
yeah. So that one's being heard in AB 84, which is the one they're coming after, like
It-
cutting funding. Yeah.
It's like what Jose said. Every time you guys get a win, right, and you push back on something, they come up with something more absolutely ridiculous and more evil. It's actually evil. It's pure evil. Because to me,
Pure
I don't like
evil.
evil. It's
the
evil.
left is very evil. Okay, they're evil in nature. They're evil in mindset. Okay, and they're just being led by Satan, in my mind.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all
No, and then you see the authors. It's like Sabrina Cervantes, who was actually my representative here in Riverside, and
is
she's
that
a
the one that was saying that
lesbian.
she's a good Guatemalan or something like that? Who was that? Was
Uh,
that from another state?
Yeah,
well,
It was
that's another
somebody.
state.
was it?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
no,
state it was, but yeah, she says that I'm a Guatemalan first or something like that,
Before
or
before I'm an American.
before I'm an
It
American.
was
no.
somebody's. Go ahead.
This is what like when you start researching these assembly people, and I'm like, okay, Sabrina Cervantes,
Oh,
she's a lesbian, you know, and I'm like, she's married, she's raising 3 kids. Chris Ward, he's a gay man. What was the other guy? Well, we know Wiener. No, the other from Moreno
Wait,
Valley. Alex Lee, he's the first bisexual. I'm like, what
Is
in the
so they're all maricons essentially, right?
oh my gosh, or some perversion. That's like
there's a perversion in their minds. I'm like, how are these people even making laws, like writing bills and stuff
Yeah.
for
Well,
kids?
yeah. It's mainly okay. It's mainly these people want to, and I have
Yeah,
to say this, and I say it in the most horrible way so that it jars people. Okay. In the end, they want to do nefarious things with your children. That is what this is all about. All right.
yeah.
They want to
exactly.
screw your kids.
Yeah,
yes.
They
that's
think that they
exactly what's
own
happening.
them. That's the thing. They get up and they say these are not your kids.
Exactly.
They
J-
literally
Leave our
get up and
kids
they don't
Great
alone.
hide
point.
behind that. Yeah,
Great point.
they don't
Leave
even.
our
It's
kids
not even.
alone.
They don't. It's not one of those things that they just don't try to comment on. They say no, these are our kids. That's it. I mean, that's
Exactly.
scary enough. All by itself, it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at these school board meetings and all these city council meetings, when the blue hair people show up,
I
these
love you.
people
Every
don't
time he says that, it makes me laugh.
have, yeah, they
That's-
they uh they don't have kids. They're just,
no,
they then they're funded by they have money. Like they all have the same signs.
it's
They're
the
all nice.
alphabet mob, man.
Yeah, yeah. I feel
The
them.
alphabet
They're
mob is serious out in California, man.
they're very well funded. They
They're
bust
not
them
even from the
in.
district.
Yeah.
No,
And they have
no.
the time in their hands. Like
Yeah.
we have a map over here in California of like all the Wokies, you know, they come together and they research people, and they have it like all like
Well,
it's
for example, we're on one of their websites. They have it's a map where they show all the activists like us, the parents. Then they'll have like Maria there. It'll say Maria and our last name, and then it'll say she goes to church here. This is the city she lives in, and she's frequently seen at these school board meetings or these. So that
they tally. So they have
yeah,
a tally like,
yeah,
oh, the school board in OC, oh, Temecula, oh, she was there, oh, he was, you know,
yeah.
and I'm like, wow, these people really
Mhm.
have a lot of
They,
time in their hands.
at
Well,
Redlands,
that's just it.
they posted to me that I was at Redlands. Was it Wednesday? Oh, this guy was in Redlands and he's this and this and that, and there's a picture of me right there. Like I'm like, hey, good job, guys.
They had a
Wasn't
picture of
even
you. That's
there.
funny.
Yeah,
So
Fucking
yeah, those are those, I think that's a lot of the
Yeah.
in part why people don't go and, you know, show up or whatever. But I mean, you know what,
fear.
just
like let
I
them
mean,
be like
they're trying to intimidate you.
Yeah.
trying to intimidate.
You
Yep.
know, they
It's a
try.
it's a
Let them
Marxist
be.
tactic, man, that goes back forever. Fear. If you instill fear.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
So fear not, for I am with you, says the Lord. So that's what we're gonna keep pushing.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Yeah.
asks, she says, Jose, are you talking about Charlie B?
Yes,
Yes.
Charlie B and the
Sure
gang.
do.
Yes.
Yeah, Chelsea knows
Charlie
us.
B, I
Chelsea
guess.
knows. Chelsea's a veteran at
Chel-
this game.
yeah.
Oh,
Chelsea's an
Charlie
OG in this
B.
fight.
She's got all the
yeah,
terminology down. She's crazy.
yeah,
Our schools,
yeah.
USA,
Uh,
Sky Spider, all those people.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Like,
Yeah, she's had run-ins with a lot of them.
we've come to a point where it's like in the beginning, you're like, oh my God, why are we doing this? Oh my God. And then they're like, they're nobody, and so
first time because we went to there was a drag queen named Pickles that was gonna go read to the kids at a
Holy
library
shit.
in San Fernando Valley. Yeah, it's about 3 years. About
Pickles.
3 years ago. But that was about 3 years ago.
Fucking
And there
pickles.
were Pickles. This dude was like 6'4", bro.
I'm
This
trying
dude
not to
was
laugh, okay,
no
because
laugh.
it's a
I
serious,
remember the
No,
story.
no,
I
yeah.
remember the name.
yeah, it's just
A name Pickles, like a drag queen named Pickles. This dude like
good
six
Lord.
foot four. He was trying to dress like Marilyn Monroe, and
Ave Maria, maldito.
yes, and we went out there. Parents went out there and we blocked them from coming in. It was a big old thing. Like I had to calm some dads down. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy, but it was good crazy. It was good
Yeah.
crazy where parents just had enough. Like, no, you're not gonna come into this library, and all the people from the city. I forgot. Oh my god, can't think.
Celeste.
No, the people from LA. Organize that event, like the actual assembly people or like the city council people, and they were all there in their little suits, ready for their photo op, with the drag queen reading to all the kids, and that was one of the big events that we were a part of it, where we stopped it. They had videos of us, pictures of us, and we had taken a group picture after the cops left, and the officers were like, hey, they weren't saying they were against us. The officers were kind of like, being neutral, but we told them like, hey, don't bring that guy in here. He's not gonna be safe inside this library. So they removed
Awesome.
them. Yeah, they
Yeah.
removed them. So there was like a big outcry with them saying like, oh, that the cops should have arrested us, and they put us on. We took a picture. A bunch of parents took a picture because it was a victory for us. We're happy about it. We took a picture, and then they posted that picture and they put arrows on everybody that was there, and our handles, they had wrote my name. They had my last name wrong, but they had my first name right. And
Right.
we were like, my wife and I were like, oh my god, how do they know our names? How do they know who we are? And that was kind of like one of those things where we're like, man, should we even be doing this? And like, God, I mean, that was when I started. I didn't even have Instagram yet. Like this whole time, I never had Instagram. I just, you know, uh,
Yeah.
so that's when the Lord gave me that scripture. Like, God didn't give you the spirit of fear; He gave you the power, love, and of a sound mind. And that's when I started my Instagram. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be a voice for this, And it was that tactic, that Mark 6, can I say it? Mark 6 tactic that they try to use to scare us.
Yeah.
So
It's about
And
fear.
yeah,
it was Celeste Rodriguez district, which she's the one, a co-author for 495. She's the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's the one where
It's
that
just
happened.
nuts. It's
Yeah.
nuts. You guys, I just, you know, God bless you guys for the fight that you get, and the and your group, the people that are with you. You know, Chelsea, she's in the chat. She constantly flies back there to fight. Antoinette Jensen, she was in the chat a little bit earlier. She's fighting right now in California.
Mhm.
Okay, as a teacher who was retaliated against, and it's just it's a nonstop fight for you guys, but it's a fight that needs to be had, and it's a fight that
Yes.
I think that you guys, if you just keep, it's a struggle and a grind, but we notice it, right? It's why we keep having you guys from Cali come on the show, because, right, Scott, we notice it. We see like the rise of that grassroots movement, growing in California.
Yeah. And I just
So
want
many
to
fights going on out
encourage
there.
any out
Go ahead,
like
Scott.
if
I'm
you're
sorry,
uh,
Scott. What'd you say, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
yes.
Oh, I'd say that there's just so many different fights going on out there in
Mhm.
California. It's not just the kids. It's the medical freedom that they're taking away from people, the people that lost their jobs. It's the tax, ridiculous taxes. It's the
Yes.
it's the liberal agenda that you can't just live your life. It's not even just the kids. They just push everything on the
Yeah.
citizens. They tax you if you leave.
It's true.
They
Yeah.
try to make
Yes.
it difficult to
An
leave the
exit
state.
tax.
Yes.
An exit
Yes.
tax.
Yeah, I mean, like, who the fuck ever heard of that?
Yeah, that's
That's
friggin'.
ridiculous.
They're the Nazis. Those are the
Yeah,
Nazis.
they're
Yeah.
literally making it hard. Like, they make it so difficult to live there, and then they make it even harder to leave. So
Yeah.
people are
Like,
literally
we
stuck.
got CRT mom Chelsea. CRT mom.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
yeah. Chelsea.
Yeah.
So Charlie B moved, huh? That's breaking news. That yeah,
Wow.
that's big for us. I'm like, yeah, that lady's been friggin' trying to torment us for years now. Trying to get people fired. She's trying to do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We love you too,
But
Tony. We got your six,
Yeah.
hon.
yeah.
And we
So
gotta keep the fight. We're not gonna give up, and we just encourage anybody in California, like we're just parents, we're trying to raise our kids, we're trying to live our life, but all these laws are not allowing us to, so we're gonna keep showing
we
up.
ain't got money, but we got problems.
Yeah.
More money, more problems. We got no money, but we got the problems.
Yeah.
But just regular, like you said, grassroots. Like I'm a union electrician. My wife's stay-at-home mom right now. She used to work for the city. Like you know, dox me, fire me, whatever. I don't care. Like I'm not gonna live in fear. Like I'm gonna stand for truth. My wife's gonna stand for truth, and
Yeah.
as a family, we're one. Like our marriage, we're one, and we're in full agreement that if speaking truth is gonna bring consequences that might not be things that we want, then bring it. You know what I mean? They're not gonna silence us. We're gonna
Yes.
keep fighting.
Right on.
I always think,
Absolutely.
yeah. I always tell my husband, like, always think about the disciples. They spoke truth, and look what happened to them. That's what's gonna happen. So,
Nah,
yeah.
you're not gonna get all
They're
that.
going
Your
from
your 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 gr- your grassroots is growing in California, and it's a great thing to
shadows.
watch. It just really is. And again, like you see CRT mom, that's Chelsea Boyle, Tony Jensen's in the chat. Okay,
Yes.
you link up with them, and they will continue. They'll help you fight too, because they're
Yeah.
in. Just link up with them, and they'll help you where you need the help, and your community
Mhm.
will continue to grow.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And once again, just if anybody in California is listening, Sonia Shaw, 2026 for California, superintendent. And well, obviously, we're going to go. Yes. And Chad Bianco for governor.
Well, everyone, if you need to find them, their links are in the description. Uh, Maria, Jose, really appreciate you guys coming on and spending your time tonight with us. I'm going to pray for you guys on the way out really quick.
Thank you.
So I'm going to say prayer for you guys because you guys are in a hell of a fight, and it's a hellacious one. So we'll do a quick prayer, and then, we'll get going, and Scott and I will talk about what's going on Monday night. Father in heaven, we give you praise and glory. Thank you so much for your word. Thank you so much for revealing your heart to us and revealing your will to us. We ask that you please meet us at this moment, because this moment is where we find you. And in this moment is where you find us. Help us to be found by you, and help us to know your presence in this moment, in this circumstance, in this season of our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
God bless everything you guys put your hands to. Both of you brave gentlemen.
Keep standing.
Well,
Not as
again,
brave as
thank
you
you.
guys. You guys are out on the
Yeah,
front
you
lines.
guys,
You guys
you
are
guys are
doing
on the front lines right now.
harder work than we are. We're just two guys on
Way
a
more
camera.
work than we are. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely want to have you guys back so you could give us an update on the struggle and the
Oh,
fight
yeah.
that's going on in California. Once again, thank you for sharing your time and wisdom with us.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
God bless you both.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, brother, that was another great show.
Mm-hmm.
Great content, man. Thanks for setting that up.
It's a good week. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good week, man. We had a good week, man. We started off with Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
I had a pretty good show on Wednesday. It was pretty good. Tonight's good show, but man, boy, do we got a treat for you guys on Monday night. We got a
Yeah.
really good treat for you guys. Sheldon Daniels will be with us Monday night. He's gonna be in 8 p.m. Central, so that'll be about 9 p.m. Halfway through the show, he's gonna pop in and spend the rest of the show with us. So
Mhm.
you guys do not want to miss that. All right, you guys want to definitely come and hang with us because I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
he's gonna get. I'm sure he's gonna go all in on on Cratchit. What do you think, brother?
Oh, he's pretty vocal about his disdain for her.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's just a joke. I don't know if you saw the last post I did of her this
Yes.
afternoon. I
Man,
mean,
she's just
what
so
the hell,
Cratchit, man.
man? What the hell?
Bro, she's off her rocker, man. She is batshit crazy.
And I would love to know, like, I mean, I'm sure people like him and Peyton Jackson, and there's probably many others that we haven't even talked to yet. That
Yeah.
I'd love to know with all the drama going on in Texas. I mean, maybe we don't even need to wait till 2026.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's 2025.
Man,
If they're going to be
brother.
deposed, if they're going to be deposed from office, okay, that's the way they want to do
Yeah.
it. I mean, they're the ones not reporting to work. We're not forcing them to
Yeah.
do anything.
I'm curious what the state laws actually say. Um,
Mhm.
Tony, Chelsea says hi. But if you're watching the if you're watching the channel, you should probably see her comments because the chat is up on the screen. Unless you're on your phone, you
Oh,
might
yeah.
not see it. But Chelsea says hello. Yeah, man. I don't know what their state laws say about that. Like I've been trying to follow that just to get a little insight on that.
I mean,
Um, but I know I don't know what they can and
they're
can't
cutting their
do.
payoff. Well, they're not actually cutting their payoff, but they're like making it so they cut their direct deposit off, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's
You
awesome.
know,
That's great.
they
Great
have to come
shit.
in
So
person to
they gotta
pick
get a
it up.
hard check. They gotta come in to pick
And
up
if
their
they come back to
checks.
the state, they're going to get arrested because the
Awesome.
sheriffs are already out looking for them. And I think
That's
I think the FBI is already working in. This is what we wanted. This is
yeah.
everything we wanted, dude. And
Yep.
maybe we'll actually going to get some perp walks next week. It's going to be awesome.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be just awesome to
Hmm.
see, man?
Wouldn't you love, dude? The visual of Jasmine in
Oh,
fucking in
yeah.
fucking anklets and a fucking handcuffs.
That would
Maybe
be nice.
put a spit guard over her just for the hell of it.
I know. Like Hannibal Lecter and shit.
Yeah,
I don't think
just when you
it
see her
doesn't
under the
affect
thing.
her because she's fucking yeah. It doesn't affect her because she's the U.S. Congress, but like I would like to see a whole bunch of those state representatives get absolutely perp walked.
Oh
But
my
wouldn't it be
god,
great
dude!
to
I'll
see
be
her?
playing that video non-stop.
I know.
Instagram will not be able to stop me. Over and over again, it'll be on
Just have that
continuous
shit on a
loop.
loop.
Yep, on my channel, continuous loop. Ever for the next 10 years. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like, look at all these fuckers. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I like to see it. I like that was a great thing. Stop their direct deposit, make them come pick up a hard check, and once they
Mhm.
come to pick up their hard check, like
Arrest them.
they're gonna treat them the way ICE has been treating these fools, like in New York City after they come out of their court and the court lets them go. Then ICE is just sitting there waiting for them to pick their asses up, these illegal
Yeah, and they're
aliens,
gonna get
and
they're
bounce
not
them.
because they're gonna fly in unless they take like a freaking unless they drive in someone's minivan, which they're not gonna do it that way. They're gonna
In a
fucking fly
Penske
in
truck.
first class.
Gonna drive in
Yeah,
in a Penske truck.
that's how they should do it. They should be waiting for them in short-term parking, and all these freaking feds jump out of the Penske truck
In a
and arrest them all.
U-Haul.
That'd be
Fucking, oh, we
awesome.
can't use Penske anymore. We're gonna use U-Haul.
Dude, that's that was a marketing misstep by U-Haul. U-Haul should have been
Oh,
like, dude, we support. You want to use our trucks for that? Do it.
hey, you want to use our truck? Yeah, just come to any gas station that has a U-Haul sign, and you can pick one
Mhm.
up.
Yep, we support
Yeah,
U-Haul.
they missed the bus on that
U-Haul for
one.
USA. Come on, I could have been a marketing major, dude. We put the U in USA. Boom. They would just destroy Penske in the next quarter.
I know, absolutely fucking bankrupt them.
Yeah, because like liberals
Oh
don't
my
move. That's
God.
the thing.
It would be awesome, man. Yeah, it'd be good. I hope we get to see some perp walks. It'd be really nice. It's just to, if nothing else, as a measure, just to just to say, well, we said we were gonna do it, and we did it. Even if the
Yep.
shit doesn't hold up, right? Like just to
Sure,
run them through the
just
gamut,
the visual.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, Instagram will probably try to be like, "Oh, that's not real. It's AI."
Yeah, it's
No, it
AI,
was real,
artificial.
motherfucker.
You used AI to do this. We can't play your
Nope.
video. You can't monetize on your video.
Yeah. Like, sorry. I remember. It
Fucking
was real.
bastards. No, it's real. Yeah, man. Where it just would be great to see. But again, next week, fam, we got Sheldon Daniels on Monday. That is going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to hearing him talk, man. I've heard enough things from him to
Yeah.
know that he's fantastic, and he's gonna, we got to get this
Mhm.
man elected somehow. Uh, Texas deserves better anyway. Texas 30, right? It's Texas 30, his district.
30. Yeah, I
He's
think he's
30,
30, and I think Peyton
33
was
is
33.
Payne. Yeah,
Yep. See, I'm
I'm
learning all
interested to
about these
hear.
districts, man.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
interested to hear his take on the redistricting thing. I'm pretty sure he loves it.
Mhm. I mean, it should. It
Pretty
might
sure.
help them. I'm sure it's going to
Yeah.
help them. They didn't do it. They didn't do it to make them. They didn't do this major move for like lateral moves. They did this for advantages.
Yeah.
So,
Man, the Democrats have been doing this shit forever and getting away with it.
Mhm.
It's just now they're all, their panties are all in a knot now that Republicans is get growing a sack and actually,
Yeah.
doing it. It needs to be done in more
Mhm.
states too. And just from what I understand, they're working on Nebraska right now to get rid of that one little blue fucking spot.
Good. Do it.
that,
Florida's already
that would
talking about it too.
awesome.
That'll be amazing. Get those idiots to lose. Get rid of Orlando and Palm Beach. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
That'd be, yeah, that would just be great. What do you
Tallahassee.
got for them,
Sorry.
brother? Other than Sheldon,
Yeah.
you got anything else, man?
You mean coming up?
Yeah, yeah. Anything you want to talk about really quick on the way out?
No, no. I I'm beat. This was like a really busy week for me. I'm beat,
Yeah.
and it's yeah. I got a busy weekend ahead, so I'm ready to call it a night, crash, and hopefully get some more callbacks on some of the other people I've reached out to for the upcoming weeks.
Nice. Well, we got some good stuff coming up, so I'll take us out so you could get going. I got to get to sleep too, man. I
All
got
right,
a long drive tomorrow. But
all right.
all
Thanks,
right, brother.
brother.
I will see you on Monday, man.
Yeah. Have a good one. Have a good weekend if I don't talk to you.
Definitely, man. You too, brother. Well, America, that man, what a great show with Maria and Jose out in California and their fight to protect children. We talked about a whole gamut of things, some of the laws that they're trying to pass out in California. Every time they defeat one, they come up with an even more weirder one. The pedos out there, it's just a crazy thing. Uh, so we need them to continue to fight. Tony Jensen was in the chat tonight, and same thing with CRT Mom. They're constantly fighting with everybody out in California to protect kids. It's freaking awesome to see. We love it. August 16th, okay, we got movie night. And damn it, you told me the freaking name of the movie. Hang on. Don't tell me again. Let me go look for myself because I'm an idiot and I should have just freaking done that. Um yeah. Death of Stalin. Okay. August 16th is movie night. That's next Saturday. Who's yesterday's the 8th? Yeah, right? Yeah, yeah, next Saturday. Um, I believe that's when it is. So make sure you sign up for the Discord fam so that you can hang out with us. All right. Movie night. We want to continue to grow that community there. It's also a great place for you to just drop news articles if you want to and whatnot. Drop pictures of your animals and stuff like that. We got a news politics. We got freaking an animal section so you can drop pictures of your little ones. We got a ranting section, a prayer section. We got it all. Jonathan took care of that when he created the Discord. So make sure you come hang out with us next Saturday night. All right. Monday, Sheldon Daniels. Next Wednesday, Blondie will be back. Next Friday, as of right now, we don't have anybody, but the following Monday, we have McKenna Blackman and Daniel Silvis, the host of the California Unfiltered podcast that they just started. So we're going to bring them in and highlight their podcast a little bit and whatnot. And The Death of Stalin is a comedy, by the way, fam. So it should be good. All right. So we could get a good laugh. We watched some action, some serious stuff and whatnot, and we'll get a good laugh with The Death of Stalin. All right, fam. Anyway, I am the Big Red One guy signing out. And remember that together and only together can we break the machine. God bless you all. God bless America. And I will see you all on Monday, fam. Have a great weekend and good night.